Nebula is unlocking Nebula Island, lawless wilds after the maintenance for Hyperboost servers. I'm going to be explaining in this video why you need to do Lawless Island or the Nebula Island and what you guys can gain in there, which will gain you guys a little bit of advantage inside the game and get some really good loot. So let's just jump into it. So the codex for Nebula Island, I think you can enter it just from right here as long as you're 6000 CP. If you're still on 6000 CP, watch my 6000 CP guide. You can get it in one day. Very easy. And then there's going to be a guy right here standing in Herba Village, and you talk to him. He gives you the quest, and then you can enter Lawless Wilds. So it's that very straightforward. Now, what is Lawless Wilds? It is a place, a map where you guys can enter, and inside there you can defeat mobs or do different type of elite bosses or collect different chests and get a bunch of loot. However, most of the area is PvP. There's one PvE area, which is the peace portal up there, but that's going to be pre-packed, so you guys kind of want to be doing the PvP, but watch out for players trying to kill you, of course. Now, when you farm in Nebula Island, you will get a lot of rewards, and you can either sit here for 5 hours. You get 5 hours of playtime every single week, and you can increase this with some NebulaTabs. But in my opinion, you don't really need more than 5 hours. Now, every time you farm there, you get something called a chance to get a Nebula pouch, which is this thing right here. Inside Nebula pouch, you will see you can get tier 3 gear, you can get Nebula accessory, which is one of the best accessories in the game, and you can get basically a bunch of tier 3 gear, which will be good for Lucent and for gearing up. Or you can get adventure coin, which is also nice. But what you really want to be doing in Nebula Island, if you can, is you want to finish enough to buy out these pouches right here. Now, these pouches right here is weekly limit of 20. So it doesn't take too long to farm the Nebula stones that will drop at the monsters and the mobs. But this one should be fairly easy to get. I think you have to spend like half an hour in there or an hour with a proper team for a proper farm, and you guys can get 20 done. Now, the best thing is also getting the others done, which is the next thing I would prioritize is a Greater Nebula chest. The Greater Nebula chest has better loot in it, and it can give you some really good accessories. So you kind of want to getting the Greater Nebula chest if you can. You can only buy 7 of them a week. However, how you will get the Greater Nebula chest is through the Greater Nebula stone. Now, there's 2 ways to get the Greater Nebula stone, which is you can make the Nebula normal stones that you drop at mobs and exchange it for the Greater Nebula. You can do 15 a week. Or you can do an event that happens every 20 minutes that I will explain very soon. But with these stones, you can buy out these. And if you want to go crazy and farm really hard, you can go for these chests. And this basically guarantees you a Nebula accessory. You can't pick which one you want, but some of them are really good. Like the Pendant of Frozen one is really nice to have. And some of these accessories are really good if you get lucky. But you have to grind 350, which is going to take a lot of hours. So if you want to go absolutely crazy and mayhem on it, you can farm for this and it will gear you up a lot. And not only that, when you have an accessory, you can also go, there's a wandering merchant that walks around the map. The best way to find him is usually there's a tunnel beneath here, the Breezeland station, and you can upgrade the Nebula accessory at him for a certain price. So that is what you should be doing, is try to buy out this merchant. Now, there are things that happens at the Lawless Wilds that you kind of will have to be aware of. There are certain events happening. Like I mentioned, every 20 minutes, there's going to spawn a chest or a farming stone somewhere on the map. I'm going to link the Excel sheet for the map or for where they spawn in the description. But basically, every 20 minutes, in either Orc Village or Fog Forest or Archeum Post, or there's one more area, which is Seal of Sanctuary. It's red right now, so you can only enter this place when it's green. So if it's red and you die in there, you can't go back, right? So one of those places, every 20 minutes, it will spawn either a chest. If there's a chest, everybody in the team will get loot. If there's a stone, only certain the person mining it will get the loot. And that has a chance to have Greater Nebula stones, which is really nice. So you don't always have to farm really hard. You can just come every 20 minutes to pick up those chests. But of course, there's probably going to be competitions for those items. Not only that, every nighttime, but not nighttime, but every time around 10 p.m., there was going to spawn this boss. It's a PvP boss. It spawns at a certain area one time, and you have to fight for it, and then you can get really good rewards from it. Nebula accessories. This happens once a day, and then during the weekend, you will have another boss, which is Exodus. It happens on Sunday. He will drop even better loot, but only the strongest guild can get loot from this. So you have to basically do PvP for it. So those are the things that actually happen around the island. If you want to spend more time inside Nebula Island, what you guys can do is you can either buy it. I don't know. Actually, you can't buy it in the Hyperboost servers, but in the Battle Pass, you will see that if you look at the Battle Pass, you can buy the Nebula Charge Stones with coins. So if you want extra time in there, there are ways to get there through the Battle Passes. This one doesn't have one. They're probably going to introduce a Battle Pass soon, which will give you even more tabs. So that is basically going to be a Nebula Island for you guys. My advice for everybody is they can, if you really want to min-max, you can spend enough time in here to get the greater chests, because the greater chests are really nice to have. Otherwise, I will just tell you guys to probably just get the basic stuff, because the PP and stuff is fun in there, but eventually it gets really tedious. But just buying out the Nebula pouches and then trying to get the Nebula Conquest chest will be good. But going for the 350 is pretty crazy. So it's up to you what kind of grinds you guys do. You can also get unlock stones here, which is pretty nice. But I wouldn't go for the artifact chest or the artifact bundle. Like, this is just a waste of materials. Just if you have extra, just save for the big Nebula accessory chest, so you have a guaranteed chance to get it. And you can find a team in the LFG. If you look in the chat, people are going to be like, hey, looking for Nebula, Nebula plays. And if you can go with your guild and stuff, it's even better, because you are going to get contested. There's people that just want to, have montages. So what they will do is they'll go to Nebula Island and they will just kill players just to grief. Okay, so you guys will eventually lose your minds. The best place, if you guys want to know where the best spots to actually farm, if you can get a really good team and you want to farm Nebula, my best spots, I have 2 spots, which I usually use because they can do insane amount of pulls. And this is going to be heavily contested. So, but if you can get these spots, they're probably really good to have. And one of the spots is over here. This place right here, what you would do is you will have your team. One person will pull these mobs. One person will pull mobs from there. One person will pull mobs from there. And then one person will pull the mobs from here. It would basically be like this. You pull them over here. And then the spawns here are luckily very fast. One person will pull here. These groups of mobs. And then one person will pull here, and then one person can go through there and pull those 2. And then this is like the most insane pull you can probably do on the island. And then you go inside here and you just blast them. Now I can solo blast them on my other spec, but yeah, this one is pretty crazy. So this is one of the spots that I use. If this is full, the other good spot that I want to show you guys is on the other side, which will be Shrine of Devotion. It's also one of my favorite spots. There's also good spots on the orc, but these are like my go-to spots just to make it a little bit easier, and you get insane amount of mobs. I think that spot is definitely the best one on Nebula. And then the other spot I use is over here. So this is where the boss spawns. You can see the red light is where the portal to the boss is. So people have been fighting for the boss and won the loot. But here's the second spawn. I see there's already a team here. So let's see if I can avoid getting ganked. And up here and then across here, you can. This team will basically farm over there. You guys can see them down there. They're basically farming. They will pull everything in that little circle. I'm stuck here, I think now. Yeah, I'm stuck. They'll pull everything in that circle, and then they'll go up here, and then they will just farm here. So if you have free space and there's nobody contesting you, or you're a really good team, I would farm on those 2 spots. There's where you can get the most out of your time. Well, that is basically Nebula Island explained very shortly. I will highly advise people to do Nebula Island. It is definitely worth it for the loot. And then again, if you want to spend all your hours in there, you can farm insane amount of materials. And remember, you also get Nebula chests by chance, so you can collect a limited amount of Nebula chests in those 5 hours if you're really good at grinding, and that will give you a bunch of loot and a lot of gear. So good luck to you guys. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you tune into the stream. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.